Ron in Colleyville, Texas. This is ChristianEyewear.com, where believing is seeing. I'm See More Better. Call me Mo, because I'm going to have you seeing Mo better, looking Mo better, and show everyone else how to bring God's loving feeling back to glasses when I cut the Zeiss Light D digital freeform progressive lenses with Duravision Silver for your Christian eyewear. This is model number John 316, color Dogwood with the silver crosses on the sides. I designed these myself. Again, Christian eyewear, designed in the USA by me, a licensed optician. And again, this is model number John 316, color Dogwood with the silver crystals. It's a 55 eye size, 18 bridge. And let me begin by popping out the original demo lenses. And put your frame into the tracing element of my blocker. I need to assign a number to you, and how about this? We're at the very end of the list. This is 3,000. Good milestone there. I barcode every frame that I cut, so that way years from now, should you ever need new lenses, I can pull this up in the database, have all the pre-programmed coordinates, know the size and the measurements to cut your lenses and mail them to you, and you'll see how to put them in yourself. I'm going to hit the start button. A little stylus is going to pop up, go around, trace the inside bevel of the right side of the frame before doing the same thing on the left. Here at ChristianEyewear.com, and you're home to free prescription lenses, where everyone loves a bargain and no one is disappointed in quality. You buy any frame that I offer and you will receive one free pair of clear single vision prescription lenses or non-prescription fashion lenses. My receipt has my federal ID tax number, so if you have vision insurance or unused health savings account flex dollars, you will get reimbursed for this purchase. Excuse me, I talked till I'm dry in the throat. Now, you'll get your full reimbursement from your health savings account. I do not accept any vision insurance plans, so I can provide to you upon request an itemized receipt that you can submit to your insurance company, and they will mail you a check to your home for your out-of-network reimbursement. Now, I'm going to move on to the next screen, and I need to enter your pupillary distance, which happens to be 33 for each eye. The computer starts at 32.5, so I only have to tap the plus button once because it goes up in half millimeter increments. I want to raise the optical center height, the seg height, to 24. Change the layout screen from single vision to progressives. And let's see, I'm going to go ahead and get these ready. The right eye is plus 50 minus 1 1/4 at 95, plus 50 minus 1 1/4 at 95. Take your lens out of the packet, place it onto the platform. This is a block. I need to attach this to your lens while it is cutting. So I need two double-sided adhesive stickers, of which I've got those here. The black side is the sticky side. Put that one on the first block. Do the same thing now for the second one. Pull the paper away to make the black side sticky. That silver button on the back is a magnet. It's going to do its job twice. The first time it's going to attach itself to another magnet there in the arm. Get everything laid out as such. That's why the three dots are on there. It tells me where to do that. Blue cross is the geometric center of your frame. Your eye is just above that in inset, inside those orange crosshairs. Hit that button. The arm's going to come down, place the block onto the right lens. We're going to do the same thing for the left, but first I always like to highlight the packet so you know you're getting the manufacturer's original packaging. This is the right lens. It's the Zeiss Progressive Light D 18. 1.59 is the refractive index of polycarbonate. You have the right eye is plus 50 minus 1 1/4 at 95, 250 add power. And this DS is Duravision Silver, which is the anti-glare coating. Let's do the same thing now for the left eye. Plus 225 minus 175. At 95, pull the paper away, make the black side sticky, line up the magnet. Same pupillary distance, same optical center height. Get everything laid out as such. Hit that button, the arm comes down, places the block onto the left lens. Let's highlight this. And you know what, highlighting this is just not enough, because when you go to the doctor's office and they casually ask what you're wearing, hand them this piece of paper. Keep this for your medical records. This is why I switched to Zeiss, because they document everything. I was an Essilor man for years and years, but they just don't provide this type of documentation for your medical records. And when you buy glasses online, how do you know you're actually getting what they say? Well, Zeiss helps me prove that to you. Again, tell your doc, I'm wearing the Zeiss Progressive Light D, which is digital, freeform progressive. Here's my verification paperwork. Again, it says that there, the refractive index, 18 is the corridor length. The prescription for the right eye, your bifocal strength. Prescription for the left eye, your bifocal strength. Your pupillary distance for the right and the left eye. The seg height, where the invisible bifocal begins, and then the base curve of the lens. Now, if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. I know it's a bad joke, but you'll be telling it tomorrow. But because these are digital, free-form progressives, as they blend, they have compensated powers for the distance and the reading. All of that is documented on there. It has the laser engravings that you will find that every progressive has, so your doctor's office can dot them up. There's a layout chart for them to read any of these powers, and it shows where they can read all of that on there. So again, this will be shipped with your glasses so that you can verify you're getting exactly what you had asked for. This is the blocker, this is the tracer, this is what's known as the edger. It's going to edge your lenses down from this size to this size. It's going to do that using this wheel, which is a diamond crusted wheel that's going to grind away your lens material till it's the final size. This wheel in the center that has that channel or valley is going to put the V-shaped bevel on the lens so it stays inside the bevel of the frame. Now I'm going to wake up the computer. Job ID number 3000, or as I like to say, installment 3000 of my 330 million volume series of making a pair of glasses for everyone in America. So spoiler alert, stay tuned for episode number 330 million. Something crazy is going to happen, and that is I'll be 1,000,000 years old. That's what's going to happen. So these are polycarbonate lenses. If they were plastic, high index plastic or Trivex, I would select that lens material, but I'm sticking with polycarbonate because it's my lens material of choice. I'm not going to polish the edge of the lens because it's not going to be seen. I'm not going to put a safety bevel on the front convex surface of the lens. However, I am going to place one on the rear concave surface of the lens. I'm going to press the sticker on there firmly, place the magnet into the chuck, and from experience I'm going to take this down about 1/10 of a millimeter because I'd probably have to do more with this larger size. But I'm going to hit the start button. The door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens is going to be traced by 2 wide styluses, making sure that it's large enough to fit into the frame on the first go round. And you can see as it's tracing the shape of the right lens, and the old Jewish carpenter saying, love thy neighbor as thyself. Also, measure twice, cut once. It's measuring the thickness of the lens at every point to know exactly and precisely where to place the bevel so you have the least amount of edge thickness showing, of which you'll have none in your frame with this prescription and the thinner polycarbonate lenses. But it is a little bit more critical with the higher power lenses that I cut. Now, the light you see flickering in the background is water. That's there to catch the optical sawdust as the lens material is ground away from the lens. Polycarbonate lenses cut dry, meaning that no water sprays onto the lens while it is cutting. Whereas plastic, high-index plastic, and Trivex cut wet, meaning that water sprays onto the lens for the duration of the cutting cycle. Now, water will spray onto your lenses, but only for the last 20 seconds to wash away the optical debris that you see beginning to form. As I've mentioned, your lenses are made out of polycarbonate, which is 40% thinner and lighter than regular plastic. They're virtually unbreakable. These are high-impact ballistics-grade lens material. The same material that our soldiers wear overseas in combat zones to protect their eyes from shrapnel, from flying debris. It has 100% UVA and UVB protection built into the lens. We know what the sun's harmful ultraviolet rays can do to your skin, where your eyes are 8 times more sensitive than your skin. So unlike the lotions, creams, and sprays that you have to reapply every couple hours when you're in direct exposure to the sun, there in Colleyville, Texas, this is permanent and never needs to be reapplied. Now, you also have the Duravision Silver anti-glare, which is 3 treatments in 1. Now it's getting the bevel. The first part of the treatment, it reduces glare when driving at night, particularly driving at night in the rain, but from street lights, stoplights, computer screens, overhead, fluorescent lights and such. The second feature is it reduces reflection. So when someone's looking at you, they're not looking at their reflection in your glasses, so it makes for much better eye contact. So water has begun spraying. It tells me it's the last 20 seconds. The other thing about the reduced reflections, if you ever take a selfie, you're less likely to see the phone in your lens, or if someone takes a picture of flash, you're less likely to see the flash in the lens. Now the third feature that I like, the practical side, out comes the little disc that's applying the safety bevel. The machine that applies the anti-glare costs well over $1 million. It takes over 24 hours to vaporize 8 different coatings onto the lens. So because of the time and the expense, they put the industry's hardest scratch coating on there to protect your time and investment. Now in just a moment I will open this door with my mind. If you like that, I can do other things with my mind. I can melt ice with my mind. I just have to stare at it for a couple hours and then I can melt it. Why does no one believe me? Alright, so make sure there's no more optical sawdust on your lens. The reason why I put the safety bevel on the back of the lens, in case this does not fit first time around, I do not want any rough edges come into contact with your frame as I press down here at the nasal area. Not navel, nasal. Yeah, so I want to take it down about 1/10 more. The old carpenter saying you can always cut more off if you can never add it back on, so I start a little bit large, work my way down until it snaps in perfectly. Known as the cold mount. A lot of people will use heat that will make the plastic more pliable, but I like to do a cold insert because if I were to rush this and put a lens that in my opinion was too large, it would cause the frame to stretch, or what we in the industry call roll. Now these are the thickest points of the plastic. It's always going to roll down here, the skinniest point. Your lens is applying force in every direction. So if you can imagine your lens like a gutter, which is what it is essentially, the bottom of the lens would roll outward, the bottom of the frame, giving you an ugly cosmetic look as well as shortening the life of the frame. And so that's why I'm a bit of a perfectionist. I can hit the bullseye, but I want to hit the center of the bullseye for you, Ron. Not just because this is the 4th, possibly 5th pair of glasses that you've gotten from me, but even if this was your first time, it's not like you live next door. It's a corny saying, but the difference between ordinary and extraordinary is that little extra at the beginning. And I cut every pair of lenses that get shipped worldwide, so I want to make sure that it is perfect for you first time around. Now, I'm not perfect. I don't walk on water, but there's no reason for me not to try the best that I can every opportunity that I have. So I'm going to tuck it in at the outside corner. Using my thumbs pressed down at the nose. Now it snaps in there easily while the frame is cold. Sorry, I had a little Peter Brady moment there. Flip that over to L, place the magnet into the Chuck, the Charles, the Chucky baby, or today I'm calling it the Ron. Hit the green start button. Just like before, the door closes, the clamp shuts. The lens will be traced by 2 white styluses, making sure that it is large enough to fit into the frame. And you can see this is tracing the shape of the left side. And then the old Jewish carpenter saying, do unto others as they would have you do unto you, as well as measuring the thickness to know where to place the bevel. So you have no edge thickness showing. Look at that, Ron. You got nothing. You got no edge thickness there whatsoever. You do have that beautiful cross on the side, though, in silver. This also comes in a gold. And if I was smart, but no one's ever accused me of being smart, I would have all the colors here to show you. But you can just, if you want to see more of those, go to my ChristianEyewear.com website, click on John 3:16. Now here's a good teaching moment. The black dots have worn off, so these laser engravings that you see here, this one is in the nasal area, this one is temporal on the outside of the lens. So I'm going to come back here to my progressive identifier, put a dot there and there. And I have the same layout chart here for the right lens. Those 2 squares correspond with the 2 dots I just put on there. And now if you guys missed any of that, let me recap. You know I had to sneak that back in there. So what I'm beginning is known as final inspection. I'm going to inspect to make sure these are cut perfectly. I'm going to turn the axis wheel to, wow, that was cool. It was on 95 from my last video. I don't even have to move it. I do have to turn it on. It's first thing in the morning. And read the power, and I am getting plus 50, exactly halfway between 0 and 1 in the black numbers, not the red minus numbers, but the plus numbers. You need 2 steps of far-sighted correction. With your glasses off, everything is much too small. It's even more small, more smaller. All right, let's stick to the right eye before I'm grammatically incorrect. 2 steps of far-sighted correction. Now, once the image is the correct size, you have 5 steps of uncorrected astigmatism. That causes 6s and 8s to look alike with the letters P and F. So essentially that's the fine-tune knob. We're going to take away those fuzzy edges, and we're going to turn that fine-tune knob to 95. A straight line is 0 to 90 to 180. So for the right eye, you have one curve on your eye this way, a plus 50. You have a steeper curve 90 degrees away, and it's how we line those 2 curves up to make everything nice and crisp. And we're going to turn that to the 95 meridian. So let me check the second curve, and we're at minus 70, come on flashlight, minus 75 in the red. That's because if you had 50 cents but you owed somebody $1.25, you would be 75 cents in the red. That's where we're at. Now, your left eye needs much more correction. Let's go ahead and work on that left eye. Let's see if it fits this time around, or if I have to take it down some more. Dry everything off. Ooh, little optical sawdust there. I love it when it comes off in one piece. So what I do is I make sure, isn't it great when it comes off like the dryer, the lint trap in the dryer? I love it when it comes off in one piece. But make sure that's all off of your lens. Very meticulously I clean, make sure it's off, collect it neatly into one pile on the counter, and then I wipe it on the floor. That drives my wife crazy. Why do you do that? Why? Because I'm stupid. Okay, so let's see if the left lens fits this first time around. I've got a great wife. I love her to death. We've been together 15 years and have never had one argument. That's why I know she's my soulmate. Good Christian woman who can never leave me, never divorce me. Thank you, Jesus. So, of course, I'm sure she doesn't say the same thing about me. She's not as blessed to have the great husband as the great wife that I have. So, I'm going to tuck this in at the outside corner, use my thumbs, press down. Hey, snaps in. The black dot's still there. That fell on the floor. We'll get that later. So, we're going to come down, spin the axis wheel to 125, put it in over the black dot, read the power, and I am getting plus 2 1/4, 1 tick mark. Just got a text message from somebody. One tick mark past 2 going towards 3, plus 2 1/4. Now we're going to subtract 175 from that, minus 175, and we end up at plus 50, exactly halfway between 0 and 1. Because if you had $2.25 and let someone borrow $1.75, you would have 50 cents left over. That's where we're at. Now these first 2 numbers are real values to be concerned with. This last number could be anywhere from 0 to 180. Now once we have your distance correction, you have an additional amount of reading power. The add is short for additional. So if you were to buy over-the-counter reading glasses, you add the plus 50 for the right eye, plus 250, so you need a 3 for the right, and 475 for the left, which you can't buy. Plus, the over-the-counters don't correct for astigmatism correction. So if you ever needed if you like to read for hours on end and needed a good pair of reading glasses so you wouldn't get eye fatigue, you would. I can make them for you now. This frame and lens package, the Christian Eyewear John 16 with the invisible bifocal, is $249 complete. The Duravision Silver adds $79 for a total of $328 tax-free. The reason why I point out tax-free now is I'm in North Carolina. North Carolina considers eyeglasses a medical device, and I do not have to collect tax on medical devices. That's how I'm able to remain tax-free. Now, the last steps of final inspection, I'm going to measure your pupillary distance, your optical center height. So 33 times 2 is 66. Well, 33 and 33 added, not times. 999. What is that? 33 times 2. Is that right? 33 times 2. Alright, it is 66. Alright, added together. Is that right? I flunked math so many times I can't even count. Come on. Hello, is this on? Is this on? You can laugh at that. So, 66. So I'm going to place the PD stick against my thumb. I'm thinking 33 times 33. That's what it was. That's what I was trying to figure out. Ooh, 1089. I missed that one by about 90. So, place the PD stick against my thumb. When we hold it up to the left lens, we're getting 66 millimeters. That is cut perfectly. I want to get 24 millimeters from this dot to the middle of the plastic, which is where the bevel is in your frame, and that is cut perfectly. Now this is the portion in every video that as I clean your lenses, I mentioned there's free shipping anywhere in the US, and Colleyville, Texas is in the US. But when you get these in the mail, Ron, there's a small chance that these could fit too loose or too tight. However, there's an 80% chance that one side is going to sit higher than the other. That's because 80% of people have one ear that is higher than the other. And because of that statistic, 99% of all optical shops will do free adjustments if you ask them. But I'm going to get them in standard alignment first, also known as a 3-point stance. The 3 points are 1, 2, and the bottom of the frame being 3. I set them on the counter and press down. There is no wobble. Now, when I say wobble, I'm part of that 80% myself. So, when I take mine off and press down, they wobble on the counter, but they sit level on me. For those of you keeping score at home, I'm wearing the Philippians 4:13, which is I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, black with silver. Every frame that I offer comes with a choice of silver or gold crosses. And because I had black hair with some wisdom highlights coming in, I figured I would pick that. Let me flip this over, press down, there is no wobble. But if you want to see more of my frame, you can certainly go to christianeyewear.com, click on Philippians 4:13, and you can see all the available colors this comes in. And these come with a polarized magnetic clip-on. You can also go to my YouTube channel and see more of these videos for the Philippians. So, as I showed, I press down, make sure there is no wobble that way. Close each temple to make sure they overlap perfectly, and they do, that neither temple is askew. Check the tension on each hinge. That is good. Now, I was influenced by the Ray-Ban 2132 New Wayfarer. I wore this frame for about 8 years. This is the reason I started selling on the internet, because it was so easy to cut lenses for. First, I offered lenses only. Then I offered the frame and the lenses. But what I did is I took the shield. That's what that silver dot is known as. I took that off, and Ray-Ban has a 3-barrel hinge, meaning that there's 2 barrels on the temple and there's 1 on the frame front, and when you put those together and put this screw in, that's what holds it in place. I went with a 7-barrel hinge. I wanted this to be as strong as a tank. So there's 4 on the temple, 3 on the frame front, and when you put that in there, that's going to lock into place so strong. Now, this is the point that I like to remind everyone, that Jesus loves you unconditionally. Me, however, I'm just trying to get a like. If you liked what you saw today, please like this video. Click this icon in the bottom right hand corner on Christian Eyewear YouTube's channel to subscribe. If you're watching this on free prescription lenses, there's the red button. You can also hit the bell icon so you'll get notified every time a new frame and lens combinations become available. If you have any questions, go to the Contact Me page of the website, or if you just like to type, you can type in info@christianeyewear.com. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram as Christian Space Eyewear. Twitter is just no space, it's just one word, Christian Eyewear. You can also leave a question or comment in the comment section below. But Ron in Colleyville, Texas, thank you so much for the purchase of your 4th or 5th frame. I cannot remember. He's gotten this frame for me before in the Ray-Ban, so he knows the New Wayfarer, so he knows exactly how it feels, how it wears, except he's just got stronger hinges this time. Now that I put my name on it, I want it to be as strong as possible. And again, I'm a licensed optician. I went to college for this, passed the state board exam. I have 21 years experience. I have cut tens of thousands of pairs of glasses for people in my community and my career. But I realized I'm just a cover band. I'm putting lenses in all these other companies' songs, and I wanted to write my own song. And what song was dear to my heart? The love that Jesus Christ gave us by dying on the cross so we may have everlasting life. And of course, again, this is model number John 3:16, which is, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whoever believe in him shall not perish but have everlasting life." And I wanted to put that on the frame to remind everyone this is a great conversation piece. When you're out, people will see it, or it lets you begin a dialogue with someone else where you can explain what Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior, means to you. But again, Ron, thank you for your purchase of the Christian eyewear model John 3:16 with your Zeiss, well, in colors Dogwood and silver. You can get these with gold crosses, but this is the silver. And with your Zeiss digital freeform progressive lenses with the Duravision Silver anti-glare, which has the least amount of reflection of any of the anti-glares from Zeiss. So if you want your lens to look almost invisible, Duravision Silver is the way to go. But thank you for everyone else who's watched. Please share this video with other Christians who may want to see something like this. And now hopefully everyone else has gotten a chance to see how I bring God's loving feeling back to glasses. Thank you.